The bright lights of the city are alluring. Every year, thousands of able-bodied leave their rural homes, beckoned by those bright lights that are symbolic of a better life. They leave behind young families. In their wake, thousands of women are left behind to fend for their families against insurmountable circumstances. In Kandara constituency of Murang'a district, amidst the beautiful countryside, we meet Judy Wambui. Every morning, Judy wakes up at the cock's crow to engage in what can only be described as a daily struggle. Even though she has a small piece of land in which she can grow food, the unpredictable weather conditions constantly throw life into a spin. As she digs the land single-handedly, the dust rising from the earth with every strike of her djembe is enough evidence that the rains have delayed once again.
The mainstay of Kandara has been agriculture, and it has been our mainstay, of our economic mainstay since independence. And not many other avenues of wealth creation or income generation have come up since then. So what that tells you is that the poverty levels are quite high.
11 years ago, Judy went through a difficult childbirth. Her husband abandoned the home soon after, never to be heard of again. Eliud was born with physical, cognitive and intellectual impairment, meaning he would require special attention throughout his life. It seemed as though Eliud was destined for a life of solitary confinement, destined to the fringes of society as a result of the strange fate of birth. There were no schools in the area that catered for children with special needs. The future looked bleak. To the casual observer, Wambui's life is no different from those of rural women struggling to eke out a living with their bare hands and wits, literally.
It is very hard for a parent to just get a normal child through school, leave alone a special kid, because every special kid needs special attention in terms of the people taking care of them, the schools that they go to, the facilities that they are using. So it means if I'm a parent with a special kid, I might find it easier to lock up my child at home than let them out there to face the dangers of the world.
But as fortune would have it, the order of Don Oreone under the Catholic Church began the parish of Kaburugi in the late 90s to preach the gospel of service. Upon Don Orione's arrival, they very quickly realized beyond the spiritual needs, some parishioners had an even greater need. They started a center to cater for children with special disabilities.
We see, above all, the social integration of the children. They play together, they enjoy being together, they're happy, and also the people looking from outside of the parish compound are always looking to see what they're doing there. I think quite amazed to see that all these children that are normally hidden away at home are part of the community now, so that their identity and value as a human beings is being promoted very much.
Because of the vast distance involved, most parents with children who had special needs were caught between the tough choice of finding food for the family or taking the long walk to and from the school. Unfortunately, only a mere 15 children with special needs were able to reach the center, either on foot or on the backs of their mothers. The key challenge of the center became getting children most in need to attend. 35 children with special needs could not reach the center. The transport hitch had to be resolved.
Now, when you think about transport, you've got to realize that these kids have some special needs physically and mentally. So it means these kids will have to be picked from their home and returned back to their home. So that means drawing up a route map, getting a vehicle, and going around the locality, collecting each and every particular kid from their home.
It was at this juncture that members of the community stepped in search of a solution. KJ, a popular comedian who hails from the area, took the lead in proving that the people of Kandara were not passive participants. In his capacity as the chair of the fundraising committee, he rallied community support to raise funds to buy a bus.
we agreed we are going to organize a fundraising walk. And through the fundraising walk, we were able to raise some good money. But amazingly, on the Monday after the walk, we got a call from Safaricom, who we had approached earlier. And they asked us, how much were you able to raise? 1.something million Kenya shillings. And we were asked, if you were given that money back as a center, do you have some projects that you can put the money into? And we said, yes, of course, if the center has needs. They told us, the money is coming back to you because Safaricom is actually donating the bus. And they're not only donating the 25-seater bus, they're donating a 30, how many, Father? 33-seater bus to us. You can imagine wherever it was we were doing somersaults. We were actually flipping all over the place because at that point they came through for us at a very critical point of need.
With the purchase of the bus, the centre is now able to see that all children in Kaburugi and its surroundings, no matter their circumstances of birth, lead normal lives. The biggest benefit the bus brought to Kandara constituency is that it ensures that these special children with disabilities or behavioural problems are fully integrated as individuals into society. At the end of the school day, the Don Oreone bus makes the homeward journey. Inside, the children stare out of the windows. It is just the end of another school day routine. Snaking slowly across the Moram roads, dust billowing in its wake, villagers wave somewhat content in the knowledge that even those children with special needs are now enjoying an inclusive life in the community.
You know that most of these kids come from very needy homes, so you can say without a shadow of a doubt that Safaricom has come through for our community, and in this case a very special grouping of a community.
The Don Oreone Centre is not a boarding school. Children arrive in the morning for a day packed with activity. They are taken through elementary reading and writing by a team of special education teachers. Children are taught according to their specific disability.
One of the key issues that we have thought of is that it's good to have a day centre so that the children can remain in the community and not be taken away from their families, so that they're part of the community and develop the gifts of the children so that they can see how beautiful these children are really and how much they can give us as well as we try to give them.
Those children with learning disabilities use props to learn numerics, while those with hearing impairment are taught through sign language. Those children with physical impairment are taken through physiotherapy every day to increase mobility in their limbs. The school day is broken down like any other. There is time for learning, song, play, and after a nutritious lunch, the children get to enjoy an afternoon siesta. It offers other skills such as dressmaking for the girls and carpentry for the boys. Gearing towards self-sustainability, the centre started a poultry project to help generate income.
And we're hoping to have another 500 chickens soon to keep the process going so that we have a ready, steady income for paying the salaries of the staff. There's no permanent fund or donor for this project.
Don Oreone is a success story. Martha Wanjiro waits by the road every evening for her 2 children. Like other mothers with children who require special needs, she understands the difference the bus has made to her circumstances. She now has time to concentrate on her daily chores. Her 2 children have learnt new skills in the centre and they are now self-reliant, which means a great deal of her time has been freed up.
Sana hata sijui nitasemaje kwa sababu ulifanya mzuri sana.
I'm overwhelmed by how this bus has transformed my life. I'm now free to look for casual jobs to support my family.
Tunakuwa na furahi sana kwa sababu ya hiyo basi.
The Don Oreone Centre Bus has impacted hugely on the lives of female-led households such as Wanjiro's. Typically, children with developmental disabilities were viewed as incapable in their capacity for decision-making and development. But the bus is driving through stereotypes that were potentially harmful to the fragile family unit ravaged by poverty in the rural areas.
Without that, they wouldn't be able to come here, most of them. Only at the beginning, when we had no transport, we only had 10 to 15 coming every day. But now with the transport, we bring 46 every day. And we're hoping that more will come, and surely they will. So that's been really, the transport is a very important aspect of this centre. As a day centre, transport is a key feature of it, and so we're so grateful for the help that we've received through Safaricom for that.